Hello, Susannah here from Good Property Company. You can probably just see I've been lifting. I headbutted a bar. Not a normal weightlifting technique, but there you are. Sometimes, so don't keep staring at the egg on my forehead. I am trying to give you some stuff that's going to help you financially. And if you keep staring at the egg, it's not going to help you financially, okay? Avert the eyes. Right, sourcing discounted deals for beginners. What do you say to the estate agents? So I've done another video where I give you an outline on how to evaluate a deal, and what I want you to do is buy from estate agents, auctions, direct to vendor, direct to house and direct to landlord. Typically, numbers wise, you're going to be finding a discounted deal or a wholesale deal 1 or 2 in every 100. So you're going to wade through 99 and the estate agents are going to tell you it's not possible, and you just shrug your shoulders and go, yeah, we did over 200 of them, so of course it's possible. And everybody told us it wasn't possible, and it blooming well is right. Let's take my life in my hands. It is saying a green man, so let's go. Because in Barcelona, they don't exactly give you lots of quarter if you're walking across the street. Okay, so what to say to the estate agent? Because if you think about it, the great majority of houses are sold through estate agents. So the likelihood is, like us, the great majority of your deals are going to be sourced from estate agents. They're going to tell you can't find deals. Just kind of agree with them and then don't let that information lodge in your brain. You know, switch it off. So pick up the phone and say, hello, have you got something with margin? They're going to turn around and go, is that a 1 bed, a 2 bed or a 3 bed? And you're going to say, I don't really mind. I'm buying in the range of X to Y. It's my top price. Obviously it needs to be something with margin because I'm doing this for commercial reasons. So have you got something with margin? They're probably going to come back and again say, is that a 1 bed, a 2 bed, a 3 bed? Because you're not quite talking their language. They want to know you're buying a 1 bed, a 2 bed or a 3 bed. And really traffic gets a bit full on here. Your job is simply to turn around and say, well, I'm actually, I'm fairly flexible. I'm doing this as a developer and I'm looking for something with margin. And after a little minute or two, they'll probably sort of settle down and start going through some deals. Oh, it is noisy. There's nice motorbikes there. And the chances are the first one that they bring out is definitely not going to be a deal. But what I want you to do is get quite dexterous or quite fast with being able to get on the phone and talk to your estate agent and at the same time look up the other properties. So if they, I don't know, give you like 28 High Street, sit there with a phone here and go straight onto Mouse Price and find out all the solds in that street. Now don't come across like you know better than them, because like I've got an MBA and all the rest of it, but I definitely don't know better than the 22-year-old lad or woman who's working that quarter of a mile part of that piece of city. They definitely know better than me. So what I want you to do is kind of gently with humility ask them, all right, so why do you think it's worth this much when I just had a quick check on Mouse Price, this number, and this number sold for this much, this much, this much, because there's probably a reason for it. And then I want you to go to do the maths very quickly on the 5 or 6 that have sold within recent times and figure out whether what they're offering you has got any margin at all. Next thing, it probably doesn't, because they'll not offer you some with margin first thing around. It's not what they're used to. If you think about it, it's not their fault. They're used to selling retail properties, and here you're suddenly asking to buy wholesale, and it's a very confusing thing for them. Next, I want you to do, I don't want you to ask them how much they think the refurb's going to cost. If you think about it, estate agents don't know. And they don't know because they're not property developers. If they were property developers, they wouldn't be estate agents. I know I'm stating the obvious, but I think people have presumed that estate agents know, and they don't, because they don't develop property, they sell property. So rather than asking them how much will it cost to renovate XYZ, ask them what needs doing to the property. So write down all the things and coax it out of them, and then you need to get the costings. After a period of time, you'll know exactly how much everything costs to do a property up. So you get the costings in your head or from your builder. What's a rewire for a 3-bedroom house, what's a replaster for a 3-bedroom house, what's a paint for a 3-bedroom house. I can reel them off in Bristol off the top of my head. How much does a roof cost, blah blah blah. So after a period of time you'll get to know that anyway. In the meantime, you probably have to phone a builder and ask them. And then you add how much they say the vendor's going to go for, how much you've quickly totted up what the refurb probably is going to cost, and then see if there's any space between the end value of the property and what they're offering it to you for. Typically there won't be. So what I do is I use that as a great example. I said, well look, that's super, but that isn't going to work for me. I'll tell you why, because I'm looking for something with margin. Let's just keep maths really easy. You're saying it's going to cost 80 grand to buy, and you've given me a list of things that I need to do. That's going to cost like 20 grand to renovate, but all the other houses around about are going to value up at 100, so I've got no margin in there. So really I'd need to be buying this around 60 grand, and probably your buyers won't want to go for that. So and here's the key, I do not want to waste your time by going to see something I can't view. Now the chances are the first property they offer you is definitely not right. So then here's the second statement. Have you got something else that might be of margin? Could you rifle through your mental filing cabinet? And now if they come up with a second one, it's like 50-50 whether it's got margin. If you reject that one, again, just say, look, all the others are valued at this, you're saying I can get it the lowest for this, what you've told me is wrong with the property, is going to cost me this. So again, there's so little margin, it's not really worth it. I need about a 20% markup, just because that's the industry norm. So now you're sounding really professional. Say, have you got something else that, you know, sadly somebody needs to sell fast, are they moving abroad, or is it a deceased estate, a probate, you know, is there something within your office that you feel could be suitable? If you've got them onto a third property, you're highly likely to get a deal. Now typically Ash would take about 11, was it 11 minutes? Yeah, he would be about 11 minutes on the phone and I'd be about 17. So you're not the normal call for them. Normally they're on and off the phone every 2 minutes. But once you get their brains thinking, you'll probably end up with a deal. So there you go. Beginner's guide to the estate agent phone call with an egg on her head. See? Olympic weightlifting is a glamorous sport. Right, I got 2 things I need you guys to do. One is subscribe to the channel, because we pump out lots of really great videos for you, and free, because I really like doing this. I like sharing the information that we've learnt, because people were really kind to me years ago. So there's the button somewhere to subscribe, and then of course you'll have a look at all the playlists, because we've divided them up into playlists. And the second thing is, I want you to do this just now as well, hop over to our website. It's called thegoodpropertycompany.co.uk. That's thegoodpropertycompany.co.uk. There's a link in the thread below, and have a look at everything else we've got for you. We have tons of good free information on the website. We've got tons of packs, buy to let, deal sourcing, raising private finance, business planning. We've got tons of really great workshops, how to buy at auction, how to raise private finance, how to source deals, all of that really good stuff. And then of course, if you're interested in working with me longer term, we've got online mentoring programs and face-to-face programs. But lots of case studies, so go and have a good old look. That's thegoodpropertycompany.co.uk. Oh, we've probably got loads of free stuff over there. We'll definitely have got loads of free stuff over there for you as well. Okay, see you soon. Bye.